Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
What's up? Peace and blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. It's Friday. We here. We live. We starting off early. I'm gonna spin back on later on, but wanted to get on first and foremost to say I'm proud of you. I salute you all. I hope and pray that your week has been blessed. I hope it's been covered. I hope mentally, spiritually, and emotionally you are well, and that you're going into this weekend as healthy as possible. I appreciate everybody for pulling up and joining these streams the last few weeks. Some of you are new, some of you aren't, but I welcome you all wholeheartedly, and I hope moving forward we can have more discussions up here. We can be honest. We can be adults. I never found a reason where it was impossible for another man and another woman to have a exchange and it could still end cordial. Now, there won't be an open mic later. I wish I could tell you otherwise, but you know, that's a whole nother story. I'll try my best to get something going here at some point sooner or later. Until then, it's one of those things where politics have superseded the love for the art. Nonetheless, we're still going to have a good show later. I haven't decided on what I wanted to cover. So if you have any topics, anything that you want to see covered up here, matter of fact, let me bring this up. Shoot me an email, a DM. We'll make something happen. Let me do this too. There we go. Let's get this. Let me see how I want to do this. There's a couple things that I want to go over here this afternoon. Shout out to my writers, poets, and content creators. Before I even get into the topic, you see the title. Yeah, it's another one of those. I know there's people who get tired of it, but when you get online and you do these shows and you air out your private life to the general public, you forfeit any right to stop someone from forming their own opinions. Now, the actual footage is about 2 hours. I'm not about to do that. I already got in trouble with Popular Balloon, like coming for anybody. Anyone who has done any reviews, used any of their footage, you are not getting paid off for those videos. So you might as well just take that L, or be grateful that they allowed you to eat off of that as much as possible, because it's no longer going to be here. But the reason why I decided to go live this afternoon is because Miss Joy Taylor had an interesting interview, and she said a lot of shit. So we're going to go over it. The clip that I have touches on just a fraction of it, but throughout her whole stream, she was talking about dating men younger than her. She was talking about what she requires and doesn't require, what she can do, what she refuses to do. It's the same shit, which is funny because it's like it don't really make a difference how many times you hear it. It's always going to be the same women that say the same thing over and over and over again. And this was no different. So, like, for me personally, I hear it and I'm like, all right, you're not really doing anything or speaking on anything that I haven't already heard before. So you saying all of this to say what to the general public? Absolutely nothing. But you are proving a point. And what you're doing is you're giving me the space to dissect this a little further and expand upon all of the conversations that we have up here on social media about women's positions and their perspectives on what requirements need to be awaiting them when approached by a suitor. So, first of all, I'm gonna play the video, repost, share, let the people know we're on. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna respond to this video, and then I'm gonna go over some of the other things that she spoke about. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up here. And here it is, right here. It's about 3 minutes. Yeah, a little over. Well, matter of fact, scratch that. This is a different video. I could drop that one, but I already did my reaction for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. I'm going to play this one, and then we're going to talk about it. I know you ain't going to want to hear it, but you got to hear it. So this one's actually 1:35.
I'm less and less interested in religious men, if I'm being honest with you. I told Paul this the other day. I've had some negative experiences with people that lead with their religion.
Are you religious?
Not really. No. So I would say I'm a person of faith, but I'm not. I was raised in a Baptist church, very, very religious family. I don't think that just because you're a Christian that you are, not living a good life. I'm just saying, if that's the first thing that you bring to the table, it's a red flag for me, because
you feel like
I don't
they're hiding behind their
I
religion.
don't care. Why? What does this matter to
happened
me?
with that before. That's what that happened.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
You might have a trigger behind that.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I absolutely.
yeah.
I'm acknowledging I'm triggered by this, and it's become a red flag for me.
Wow.
I'm not saying that if you believe in God that you are a red flag. I also don't give a fuck. So just tell somebody else about it. I think for some men, they think that that's what women are looking for. Like looking for a good Christian man.
Yeah.
And some people are, but just not me. So
but this is my thing about religion too. Like, like man may not like lead with it, but like some men needed to pull them out of places. Like when there's nothing else. Like I felt like religion like pulled me out of some dark places.
Mm-hmm. Religion or faith?
Faith, probably faith,
right?
More so than like,
because to me those are two different things.
Okay,
believing in God, having spirituality, having a connection with your spiritual side, praying, all of those things I do.
Yeah,
but
same. But religion is different.
To lead with like like let's go to church on Sunday.
I'm Christian.
We got to do it. We got to do it. And I'm not going to hold back no punches. It is what it is. Ms. Taylor, I'm going to have this conversation with you as if I was actually sitting in the other chair. So grab your seat and be patient.
Round 1, fight.
It is your preference to date who you want to date, like who you want to like. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in a higher being. You don't even have to pray. We've all been given a free space to live how we want to live. No doubt about it. We're going to talk about how you got to where you are, why you decided to have this conversation on social media in the first place, and why you felt the need to publicly broadcast your desires all over social media. The reason why your name is one of the topics of many is because of the backstory behind how you got to where you were on television, sleeping your way to success, and who knows what else. You picked up a lot of habits, a lot of attributes from childhood to adulthood, a lot of unsavory ones. And we've all been a part of that. You might have been the sweetest person in the world when you were 6, 7 years old. And then you turned into a fucking sexual beast. You turn into a thief. You turn into a violent, repeating offender. Who knows? What I'm trying to get at, no one is judging you that you don't give permission to do so. Everyone who says or has such an issue with older men dating younger women, do me a solid. Give me a valid reason. A valid reason why the man can't do it but the women can do it. Vivica Fox, Tracy Ellis Ross, Brittany Renner, Drea Michelle, Travis Hunter's fiance. You know what all of these people have in common? You don't want to admit it, but these individuals that you're going after, they have space for growth economically within your sphere of thought. See, you are actually some of the most sexual beings to walk the earth. However, you don't want nobody to know that you are technically freaks for real. You like intercourse just as much as men do, and if not more. But the thing is, if people really knew how you felt and how you really thought about the guys that walk past you up and down, how you examine men's packages and you look at their feet size and you look at their hands and you look at all of this shit and you quantify in your head, I wonder if this person would be a good sexual partner. If people really knew how much y'all were into it, it would implode the internet. But the evidence suggests, and it provides us enough to show that you are just as bad as we are. That's the only reason why someone like Lily Phillips can have sex with 1,000 people, and these OnlyFans models and these, you know what I'm saying, these streetwalkers can do what they do and be okay, even though the shit is damaging them mentally. It's because you like sex just as much as dudes like it, but you're never going to let anyone truly in on it. You know, I've seen some shit, and it's from people that I was close to. Women, I'm talking about. I never knew how sexual and how experimental women could be personally until I saw for myself some of the lengths that they would go to show their man that they were into them. Like when you're really attracted to a person, there's not really too many limits. But you have to be comfortable with them. You have to be so comfortable with them that you know that you can fucking run up and down the street butt ass naked and they're gonna find it exhilarating and fun. Or they can learn about your fetishes and be so super excited about it that they want to join in on you taking pictures and videos of yourself doing all this shit. Joy Taylor, you said you don't like or you're not into men that have faith or they're religious or they have a thing or structure surrounding God. And I want to know, why is that? We're going to get to that. You spent your career sleeping with people to get to where you are. You built the Napoleon complex because guys don't really care. Guys are different from men. Guys will sleep with whoever is offering it up. They don't really have too much proclivity for your intellect or your wealth or your finances or your status. They are just you putting their desires ahead of them all because you are something to get a nut off for. They're not taking you serious. And like during the show, you're talking about how you've had bad experiences with men that were into God. But you know what I noticed about a lot of interviews where people say shit like this? They're never really detailed about it. They never tell you what happened or why this was what it was. Well, let's get to the root of the problem. Why do you feel this way towards religion and men? You do know that every single man and human who claim to be Christians, they struggle with their Christianity. Some never break through and fully walk in their Christianity, and others are Christians and struggle with it and find their way out of it. And then there's others who just placate and use it as a marketing tool to pimp out the creator, thinking they're pimping him out, and they really aren't. The interview showed me that there are absolutely no accountability placeholders within the podcast. As much as I look at the names that are there, Paul Pierce is an NBA player. The woman that was hosting, I don't know who the fuck she is, but clearly if she got him and got you there, then it must mean something, right? Otherwise, nobody would give a shit. What happened in all of those relationships? What happened to the extent that it left a bad taste in your mouth? What did you do? I never hear what I did. It's always the experience, the guys that I dealt with. It's never I did this, and the third. And for the sake of being transparent, you ain't doing anything but a disservice to the public and yourself. Using this manifold to hide behind the fact that you are a part of the bigger issue. It takes two. And you're up there in age. I don't know exactly how old you are, but you are absolutely too old to still be trying to point fingers and blame everybody else for the state that you're in. But let's go ahead and spin back just a little bit. How did you get your jobs? How did you end up working with ESPN and all of those major platforms? Did you get there on merit and hard work alone? Did you get there without doing anything in secret, anything that would be questionable to your womanhood? Would it make women turn their face and walk away from you? Did you do anything remotely close to shameful that you won't talk about to the public? Because you already know if they actually discovered the true reality and nature behind your moves to accomplish the objectives that you did, it could present a negative taste in the palates of many. But we're not going to talk about that though, right? Most of these platforms will never go that direction. People do shit to get to a certain place all the time, step on people, etc., etc., etc. I highly doubt that you're an exception to the rule. And based on what I've listened to, you're not going to listen to a man. You're not going to follow his direction. You want somebody who makes the exact same amount of money as you do, if not more, even though we're not going to sit up here and act like you don't have pending cases against you. Did everybody forget you sleeping with people at work? Did everybody forget about the lawsuit? I didn't. Your character's been in question for quite some time, young lady. Quite some time. So let's talk about character, ladies and gentlemen. If you got your work and earned your money based off of the sweat off your brow and off your back, if you got everything that you obtained based on real credentials and merit, I have nothing against you. Hell, I don't even have nothing against you if you did it the crooked way. But the problem is, you motherfuckers be getting up here on a camera acting like your shit don't stink. Like, I can tell you that I'm sarcastic and I can be an asshole sometimes. I can be offstandish. I can be biased at some junctures in life. I've been all of those things. I've been prideful. I've been a thief. Like, you can own up to your shit. You're human. I'm human. We all have our stuff. Nobody here has skated through this life at this age, and you're gonna convince me that you ain't never did anything, even the smallest stuff. You could have stole a penny from out of somebody's backyard. You still stole. Joy Taylor, you ain't perfect. You got on that camera and you said that people or men that are under the age of 29 or something, they should be in the comment section worshiping you like you are a deity. What? Did I hear that correctly?
Fuck you. Shut up, bitch.
Why did you give these people a microphone? I guess it's all for entertainment purposes. You're a public figure and everybody knows who you are just off of your name. And I guess you provide some level of entertainment for the general population, but at the same token, you are a walking contradiction, asking for allocations for your lifestyle while simultaneously disregarding human beings. I keep it a buck. When Tracey Ellis Ross said she dates or prefers younger men, this is the translation I get from women like that. You have a high ass sex drive. Your libido is up here. and you require extreme meat punishment. You need your box to be utterly eviscerated and violated in the most depraved way possible. And the only way you're going to get that level of gratification is through a guy whose sex drive is still at its peak. Younger men and older men have the same levels, but older men's discipline is different than younger men's discipline, which means that you are more likely to have more control over the younger one while utilizing his sexual prowess to fulfill your needs through your own imagination. The shit that you conjure up in your head and romanticize and fantasize about, you can play that out with the younger guy. And just like you say, older men want to control younger women, well, older women do the same thing, if that's what we're making the argument over. You're all over the place. You got money, even though I question how you got it. You got the money, but your attitude, just like a lot of them, your attitude is absolutely trash and it's horrible. And because your attitude is what it is, we don't have to go into all the details, but if we must, then we can. But your attitude ultimately is what's going to keep you getting used for one reason. These dudes don't want nothing serious with you. You are a semi-attractive woman who is lucky enough to be the age she is and still have a decent enough shape on you to still pull in anybody. So your best bet is to continue to eat healthy and work out if you do either, until you are no longer a commodity. Once you start looking like Vivica A. Fox, it's a wrap. Sorry to say it. It's true. It's damn true. But you want the nigga to have money. You want him to take directions from you. He can't say nothing to you. He can't tell you what to wear, where to go. He can't organize the dates. He can't do nothing. All he is to you, he's just pretty much a dildo in a drawer that you pull out and put back in the drawer at your disposal. That's exactly what that is ultimately. Just call it for what it is. Men who refuse to allow a woman to run him is not putting up with your shit. The only reason why women like Holly Berry, Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, the only reason they ain't married is because their attitude is fucked up. The way that you view men is skewed completely. You don't value men. You don't look at them like human beings. When I heard this statement, I was really taken aback. And it made a lot of sense to me. Princella, she said that women don't really fuck with men like that. The only thing they want out of you is sex when it's convenient for them, how it's given to them. They want it how they want it. They want you to do things how they want it to be done. They want you to be versions of themselves, giving them the pleasures that they romanticize in their head. Ultimately, they want to date themselves. At least a male prototype of themselves. If the guy was a robot, hear me out. If the guy was a robot and he fit all of her characteristics from height, all that, she doesn't have you watching or anybody else in the world watching over her, monitoring her thoughts. There's nobody around to scold her or chastise her for the shit that she really feel. So she could take all of that information that's within her heart, program it into that robot, and do whatever the hell she wants with it. She wants to swap out, increase the size of the dick. She can do it. She can make it smaller. She can make it wider. She can make it more girthier. She can make him more aggressive. She can turn him into a little bitch boy. She can turn him into a fucking whatever you can imagine that goes on in your head. She would absolutely do it. That's how they are with dudes. You're too all over the place, irrational. And when you said you don't deal with men who have morals, well, you said you don't deal with Christians. And I know you said it was because, there's some bad things that went on, but you didn't say why. And on top of that, whenever I put it like this, when I've said this and I've had conversations with people and they'll ask me, well, why don't you talk to such and such no more? Or what happened? Why this go this way? And I will always give you a vague response. Vague replies suggest that there's room for interpretation. You can go ahead and guess whatever the fuck you want. You can go ahead and try to figure out and compute why I said this little and fill in the blanks for yourself. But I'm basically telling you, mind your business. I'm not about to tell you all that. And that's exactly what you do. And that's what you did. You went up there, you told people your preferences, but you didn't expose any information about why you are the way you are and why the shit that's going on with you went the way that it went. Nothing about your downfalls or your demeanor or your disposition. Yeah, a lot of people are not going to want to rock with your lifestyle. Yeah, a lot of people are probably going to be against what you do. Yeah, a lot of people are going to feel a certain way towards you. It ain't got nothing to do with you being a boss chick. It ain't got nothing to do with you being wealthy. Has nothing to do with you having more money than them, or Shaquille O'Neal, or this. I, as a man, don't care about your celebrity status, who you know and who you don't know. I know one thing: you're gonna treat me just the same as you would treat 50 Cent. That goes for anybody. I don't care about the money. It's a respect thing. It's a human thing. You treat people how they treat you. You want to convince me that you're single? Why do y'all do that shit too? Y'all act as if y'all single by choice and you single because men ain't this and men ain't that. And the only way you're going to end up back in a relationship is if this person is making $1.2 million every 2 weeks. Y'all sabotage yourself on purpose. You chose wrong. You know you chose wrong, but you can't help it. That's what you like. So what you're really saying is, I'm going to justify my horrible decisions in men by saying, this is why I want to do this. So basically, men ain't shit. So I'm just going to fucking suck until I get called home to the grave. I don't want no marriage. I don't want no kids. I don't want no family. I don't want none of that shit, because the type of dude that I want that with don't want me for that, because I am a fucking horrible ass person to deal with on a daily basis. So all I'm going to do is get sex out of it and hide behind the men just aren't quality. There's just no good men. You can spin it however you want. I will never come across a single human being dating or friendship. We talk, get to know each other, and you're going to convince me that you've never done nothing wrong. Yeah, you smoking. You smoking on something. Nobody's buying it. And I know you're hurt. See, to be honest with you, all your attitude is done is revealed the realities in which you live in, which are completely devoid of human contact. You're in your own bubble, designing your perfect mate, designing your perfect lifestyle, designing your perfect social media, designing the characteristics that you want to build with, and nobody is even on your streets. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. I need to know. You ain't no teenager. You are not no youngin'. You're either a few years younger than me or my age exactly. Hold on a minute. Exactly. You're 38 years old. Damn, you older than me. You older than me, and you still acting like this. Which would make more sense why you don't want to deal with Christians. That's going to require discipline, ain't it? You can't just get away with doing certain things that you do in your own lifestyle. You break other people in, and that's something else that people are not trying to address. What is required of a partner when you bring in or integrate them into your life, that it's no longer about when you want to go to sleep and when you want to go shop and buy all this unnecessary hair. Now you have to bring other people in. You got to consider their feelings. You got to consider their time schedule, their sleeping arrangements, their food schedules. You can't just up and go and do and say things how you want to do them anymore. So now that's the problem. You're stuck in your head. You don't see the reason. You don't see a rational, logical reason to conform and blend in with another person. So your excuse is to go ahead and be as sexual as you can possibly be by politicizing it. You politicize it so that it sounds more edible to the mind of the viewership. A real Christian man ain't about to have you dressing a certain type of way. A real Christian man is going to want you to be into the word. A real Christian man is not going to want you to be hanging around certain people. A real Christian man ain't going to be having you running in and out of the household, not doing certain things within that structure. The younger generation, they just see someone who is older but still look good enough to smash. They ain't really worried about taking you serious. That's a plus for you. You win. For real, y'all are so close to being dudes that shit ain't even funny, because like the truth is, it's a win-win for older women that's stuck in their ways, because shit, thinking like a man, I'm just like, shit, if I go back 15, 20 years or so, I'll look at this shit like, well, shit, she's not somebody that I would marry, but I would definitely fuck her. And I would definitely get my nut off to her. I have her come over. I have Keisha come over Monday and Wednesday, and then I have Tracy come over Tuesday, Saturday. But my main one, she's going to have the majority of the week, and she's going to get all of the benefits of the relationship. The girls that I call over and have them on like this rotating schedule, I'm not about to sit up there and cook and do all that extra shit for them. They just there to do what they want to do. They're going to get theirs. I'm going to get mine. They're going to go on about whatever they do, because I already know they for the street. And then I'm going to keep it pushing. That way you don't feel any type of hard feelings or feel obligated to be a specific type of man or woman for them. That's exactly how them older women is. It's exactly how you is. You already know them dudes don't give a shit about you. Them older dudes ain't looking for marriage. They ain't looking for none of that. They want to get theirs off just like you want to get yours off. Cool. Now you don't have to be an actual adult. You don't have to blend your lifestyle. You don't have to take care of them. You don't have to answer to them, because they don't give a shit about answering to you. And just they're going to go back out here and fuck who they going to fuck. And you can go back to doing. Y'all just as nasty. Y'all just as nasty as the majority. That's why you don't want nobody to lock you in. Same goes for TRACY Ellis Ross. The type of men that you say you want, you can't control them. You can't maintain them. Because the only way you're going to be able to maintain a guy that makes what you make or more, you're going to have to do some things within yourself that's going to require you to be more humble, and you're not going to do that because you're in your ways. It's too late. Ain't no coming back. There's no going back after that. So when I look at you on this podcast and you're trying to save face and cope as to why you have these prefaces, I know the reason why you have the prefaces is because it makes you look like you got it all figured out and you're together when you're really not. Nobody likes to own up to their deficiencies. I get it. I understand it completely. If everybody was just honest, we would probably get a lot further, but that's too much to ask for. I know better. There's too many stories out here, too many cases. All these teachers having sex with students. I know damn well you're a freak, Tracy. I know you're a freak. Vivica, Joy Taylor. For real, y'all are probably some of the nastiest bras on the internet. Alleged. YouTube, I say alleged. Joy Taylor looked like she done had a few inside of her at the same time.
Sensational.
I can see Joy Taylor getting trains. I'm not saying that's what that happened, but I don't really put nothing past a single fucking soul on this planet. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. But don't get on the internet, do these shows, and then act like you're the reading rainbow. You're the unicorn, the rarest thing that ever walked across this planet, and you don't have nothing wrong with you. You don't want to deal with Christians. Christians have standards. We're not even talking about the half-ass Christians. I'm talking about the Christians that are on a straightened path. You don't want to deal with them because of your lifestyle. Just say that. Your lifestyle would absolutely destroy them. And that's good. Stay away from them. Stay away from anyone who has principles. Don't bring your toxic shit over to somebody else's life because you want to live a certain way. No. This is that.
Protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
The only thing your show or that conversation provided me with is more context into why you hide behind your smile.
Sensational.
You hide behind it. You hide behind your money. You're overly sexualizing yourself at 50, 60 years old. Vivica A. Fox got a fucking BBL. A BBL at 60. Lil' Kim destroyed her face. She destroyed her entire body. Lil' Kim was fine the way she was before all of that surgery. She should have never did anything to herself. But you know what happened? That age starts creeping up on you. You get older. And you know, the older you get, you don't have the same shape anymore. Your skin starts getting wrinkly. The sex appeal that you once had is no longer there. It's dwindling. You're no longer getting that attention anymore. And you're doing everything in your power to maintain it. You could just eat healthier. You could go to the gym. Nope. That's not going to happen. Halle Berry went to that Met Gala. And she might as well never had any clothes on at all. She might as well just been naked. What are you doing? Who are you doing that for? Halle Berry, 58. You're 38. Vivica's 60. You know what the you know what the difference is between Shannon Sharpe and you? See, even though everybody has all this smoke for Shannon Sharpe, at least he owns up to the fact that he just a horny old ass man who's spending his money how he wants to spend his money. He's a dumbass. There are better ways to get your nut off if you're gonna pay for it. At least make sure that you got paperwork, my nigga. Go to a brothel. Go somewhere where it's professionally done. Contracts, NDAs. But at least he owns up to being a freak. He ain't lying about it. But you ain't gonna admit it. You just want to disguise in this, and you say younger men. Well, what does younger men mean? And why do you say men? Men in plural. If you would have said man, oh, I'm listening. It's there. Context. When men say we like younger women, we're talking about Asian, Japanese, Indian, Afghanistanian. We're talking about a variety of different people. So when you say you prefer younger men, that means you are talking about a multitude of dicks. You're absolutely talking about a multitude of penises that you want to explore. You want to partake of a variety of different sizes based on the gyration, the explosions, the chemistry, the aggression, who can get you off quicker or who would take you there in a slower pace. I can't believe nobody actually is saying this shit. One man might have one man might be extremely well endowed, so he could probably put you to sleep and he'll be categorized as one of your mains. Or you could go to a guy who is probably lesser in that area, but he is a little more equipped to get you off more than the other person. One person is good at orgasms, but he can't get you as many as the other person can. Whereas there's a category of guy who is good at it, but he can't get you there, but he's good at it. And then you got guys who are probably just eaters, and then you got guys that are probably just this. You got categories for everything. You ain't really no different than dudes for real. The only difference is dudes don't really care if you get off or not, for real, as long as we can. We just want to make sure that you are clean, you don't stink, and you're not dry. It's not even Saturday. I'm sorry. We early with the talk, but Joy Taylor ain't really. I'm decoding what Joy Taylor really is saying up here. I'm telling you exactly what she really meant in that podcast. She has a specific category for every single dude that she deals with based on the dopamine hits that she gets from each one of them. And the benefits are they don't require much. She horny, they horny. It works out for both of them. She ain't got to be tied down. She wants to be tied down, but if she ain't going to, if her attitude is what's going to keep. Hold on. She's looking at it like this. Well, I'm not going to change my attitude. I'm not going to go to therapy. I'm never going to admit that I'm wrong. I'm never going to be submissive. I'm never going to bend or change any of my personality for you. So me knowing that I'm not going to do that, I might as well have fun and fuck around as much as I want. I'm a woman. I can get dick all day. I don't have to commit. I don't have to change my lifestyle for you. I ain't got to do nothing. All I got to do is show a little stomach, some thigh meat, and I'm cool. I can still go on my vacations, still go on my trips. Hey, I might not have kids. I might not get married again, but hell, I can still enjoy my lifestyle without the expectations of a guy wanting me to cook for them every night. I ain't got to wash nobody clothes and all. That's all it really is. That's the bottom line. But they're not going to ever say that. What they will do is use these social media spaces and they will say, well, as an independent woman, I feel like because I make $66,344 million a year, I feel as though if I can work that hard for this, why should I have to stop doing what I'm doing to cater to you when we are equal in this relationship? It is not a one-person show. This is a two-party show, and men are traditionally supposed to take care of the woman. That means that you're supposed to financially take care of us. You're supposed to stimulate our mind. You're supposed to romanticize us. You're supposed to do all of this. And on top of that, I keep my money and I am allowed to do what I want and say what I want when I want to say. You talk back is sassy. You do anything is sassy. Okay, cool. So keep your funky ass attitude. Don't listen to nobody's advice. Spend your money how you want. Have your career. And get all the penis that you want. But you're not about to try to market it and make it sound like you're independent getting dick down by 20 people. But men are hoes because they do it. No. You're not about to spin the narrative and change it to make it fit one thing. Just say you don't want to grow up. You don't have any more room for growth. And this is the limitations of who you are. if you shit hit me up 15, 20 years ago, Miss Ellis Ross, Miss Taylor, hit me up about 20 years ago when I wasn't concerned about any of that crap. I would most gladly serve you some morning wood frequently. Not every day. I don't need to see your ass every day. I get tired of you. But I wouldn't have had no problem with it. Because as far as I'm concerned, you could have been a Tuesday chick. You could have been a Friday chick. You could have been a Saturday chick. You wouldn't have been a let's go out to the movies chick. You wouldn't have been one of them. But I digress. Cold hard truth. Just my opinions, though, of course. You might have seen, matter of fact, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch the interview with Joy Taylor. Come back to my YouTube channel or come back to the stream that is on Twitter. Leave a comment and tell me if I was inaccurate about anything that I said here. Everybody has had their own opinion on it, but nobody has been as transparent about what the translation is. I'm just saying. Now, what I am about to do is to go back into the laboratory. I have more uploads. I have more recordings to do, and I am preparing another stream for later on at 8 o'clock. So, seeing as how there won't be an open mic, we're going to switch it up with something else. It's Friday. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy the weekend, and I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, I thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys later. Do me a solid too before I go. I want the algorithm to put some respect on this channel. The algorithm. Which means I need your assistance. A simple like, a simple repost, a simple share, even a sub. It only takes you a couple seconds. I'm not asking you to donate nothing. I just want the algorithm to put respect on my channel so that I can reach a broader audience, so that we can have more conversations, and not necessarily about this. This was personally something that I wanted to cover. We talk about mental health, spiritual health. We talk about things that actually mean something. We don't just get up here and do the man-woman shit. I just want to put that out there. But I would appreciate a solid if you would do any or other. Thumbs up, like, share, repost, sub, either or. At least do one of them. If you can at least do one of those, I appreciate that. Between Sydney and Jason and everybody who come up here, we actually do an hour to 2 hours worth of content that actually has substance to it. And I want to get to a point to where I have more people joining in these discussions, because they are important. Not this one specifically, but in general, because everybody's voice matters, as long as you ain't on some stupid shit. But outside of that, I'm about to get up out of here, man. Back to the cave I go. I'll see you guys later at 8. Y'all be easy. I'll talk to you in a little bit.